an obscure virus discovered nearly a century ago in 1932 by Sabin. A common ancestor 30 million years ago. A virus that part of its nomenclature consists of the name of its very first victim, a young Canadian doctor called William Brebner. A virus with a mortality rate of 80% left untreated. A virus that is almost exactly the same as its more innocuous cousins in humans. Do you want to find out more about it? Let's roll. On the 3rd of April, 2024, Hong Kong made headlines again in the world media. This time, though, the headlines weren't about political issues. They were about something almost unheard of since the discovery of a pathogenic agent nearly a century ago. Herpes virus B. Formerly known as Macacin alpha herpes virus 1, herpes virus B is a typically sized animal virus, icosahedral, or in layman's terms, a 20-sided particle in shape. It is almost identical to its human counterpart, herpes simplex virus, or HSV, which causes blisters around the mucocutaneous junctions in humans, typically near the corner of the mouth, when it is commonly known as a cold sore. Such lesions can also appear on the nose, eyes, and anogenital region. Macaques infected with herpes virus B also run a similar clinical course to that of humans. Studies have determined that 50 to 80% of humans are carriers of HSV by the 5th decade of life. Like the virus causing cold sores in humans, herpes virus B also lies dormant in the central nervous system of an infected macaque for life. And is reactivated with or without symptoms intermittently. Like humans, almost 80 to 90% of macaques are carriers of herpes virus B by the time they are adults. Hosts to herpes virus B are chiefly Old World monkeys in Asia, which include rhesus, long-tailed, pig-tailed, stump-tailed, bonnet, Japanese and Taiwan macaques. Prior to 2024, almost all documented cases of herpes virus B infection, a total of 51 since the causative agent was discovered in 1932, nearly a century ago, in humans were linked to rhesus macaques housed in research laboratories or affiliated facilities handling such captive macaques. Transmission of herpes virus B in the wild has been almost unheard of, even in countries like India, Nepal, China, etc., where rhesus macaques are endemic and interactions, sometimes not friendly, between humans and macaques go back thousands of years. Not a single case has been reported so far in the literature before that. In the wild, the chance for herpes virus B to jump the species barrier to infect humans is exceptionally rare, so it appears. The crux of the matter is why rhesus macaques, or indeed any Old World macaques, housed in research facilities are more liable to transmit the virus to humans than their cousins in the wild. In humans, we know HSV reactivation is triggered by viral infection or fever, hormonal changes, such as those related to a menstrual period, stress, fatigue, and among other factors. In other words, when a human body is under stress, the immune system can be compromised to the extent that it can no longer keep the dormant virus in our central nervous system at bay. Reactivation of HSV results and presents what we see as cold sores in most cases. It is highly conceivable that rhesus or indeed any other macaques confined in captivity and kept in isolation or in overcrowded conditions, subjected to unspeakable acts of unnatural occurrences on a long-term basis, will react as humans do. Reactivation of herpes virus B as their immune system weakens. The quantity of herpes virus B a chronically distressed macaque sheds is either unusually large, or the virulence of the virus is enhanced to such an extent that the virus can cross the species barrier. Consider this as an occupational hazard for those involved in animal research. A kind of comeuppance from nature for violating the rights of animals. But even so, the chance of one getting infected by a lab monkey still remains remote, as the CDC states.
Hundreds of bites and scratches occur every year in monkey facilities in the United States, but people rarely get infected with B virus.
As to this very first case of human infection with herpes B virus in the wild, we do not know the exact circumstances under which this unfortunate individual contracted it, as this person was incoherent in thoughts or worse, near a comatose state by the time he presented to casualty. All the information concerning this case has been second-hand, and in retrospect, with a large margin of uncertainty. One pertinent question I would like to ask is there any evidence that animal abuse has been involved? Could those monkeys alleged to have passed the virus have been themselves victims of some kind of animal abuse recently, which could have triggered reactivation of herpes virus B? As my viewers should recall, animal abuse isn't unheard of on Monkey Hill. The acid burn matriarch Lowena had suffered in 2011 was a grave instance of it. And lastly, just to put things into perspective, one is more likely to get gravely ill from a cat. There were nearly 15,000 cases of it between 2005 to 2014 alone in the States in one study, of which 224 developed complications ranging from neuritis to endocarditis. Last but not least, let's pray for the poor man who is in critical condition with the herpes B virus.